Live. How you doing, friends? This is the 0DTE morning market analysis. And it is Thursday, May 22nd. And despite the date, it's kind of miserable out there. Cold, damp, rainy. It's very unlike any other May. But that doesn't stop us from moving forward. Nope. The market. Let's get to the market. First, what is this all about? What's going on here? Volatility's rising, market's falling. Why is cutting taxes? Taxes? Why is cutting taxes? Am I saying that correctly? I don't know. It doesn't sound right in my head. Cutting taxes. All right. Why is cutting taxes? Why is that not calming the crowd? And I'm talking about the big, beautiful bill, right? I mean, and also, despite falling oil, and a pullback in inflation expectations, markets are down pretty sharp. The culprit? I think there's conflicting signals from Washington and whispers out of the G7. Now, the VIX has reversed off its zombie flirtation. That's a good thing for us as traders. And the market structure is showing signs of fragility near key node transitions. In other words, we're sitting right at the edge of a volume profile structure, and there's a gamma wall there. There's a little bit of fighting. They're saying, we don't want to go down. They say, we want to go up, and that's what's happening. Anyways, the focus today is what I'm calling the cost of comfort. The market should be cheering. Oil's dropping. That's relief for the consumers. Derivatives like gasoline and home heating oil and everything else, natural gas, the pricing is pretty light. That reduces hedging pressure on, So that's one of the main drivers of our entire economy. So that is in a great situation, right? And tax cuts are back on the table via the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. I can't get enough of that presidential humor. But instead, the indices are under pressure. And this is the paradox of 2025. There's a lot to look forward to, though, in the coming months. This is not on the script. I've been watching all of these interviews with Elon Musk. He's really been, doing the circuit. And it's incredible what's going to be coming out with Robotaxi and then Optimus, the autonomous robot. I don't think a lot of people realize just what impact this is going to have with us going forward, plus with their energy initiatives. It is really incredible, particularly AI. And that's another thing. A lot of people don't think of Tesla as an AI company, but it's not only an AI company, but it is the de facto standard leader in all AI, including what is most important, real-world AI. So people got to wake up to that. They are going places. There's also talk of Tesla acquiring XAI. If that happens, and if Elon Musk's compensation package comes through, he'll have complete control over both of those, what will eventually potentially be, if not already, one of the biggest companies in the world, or getting there, one of the most valuable companies in the world for sure, and what, in my view, the most influential. So, anyways, getting back to this comfort zone that we're trying to stay in, but not doing a very good job of it. I mean, policy optimism is colliding with global geopolitical anxiety. In other words, all those guys at the G7, they're all crying like a bunch of whiny little bitches. That's my analysis. But market participants aren't buying this fiscal stimulus narrative for some reason. They're pricing in debt and currency risks. Especially, where have they been for the past, 10 years? Especially with the renewed noise from Japan at the G7 and the dovish confusion from the Fed's Bostic versus broader tightening signals. So there's this I don't know, divergence and confluence and disagreement, and everything looks peachy, and then there's easing of fiscal things, and there's talk of tight. No one knows, right? And then, of course, Congress is having a hell of a time trying to get anything passed. I don't know what the hell is going on over there. I think it has more to do with trying to wrap up all the legislation into a single bill, the big, beautiful bill. And that has been the difficulty, because everyone wants to get their dirty little fingers in there, and they want it to be a clean bill but big. So that's the quagmire we're in. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to go to, not there, we want to go to the charts. And we'll talk about what was on there later. All right. So here's our analysis for this morning. As you can see, oh, wow, look at this. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. I got all this extra news here. It's taking up space. We can see that the VIX is up. Yesterday morning, it was at around 18 and change. Now it's at 21 and change. So that's a significant change in the VIX. In fact, that is about let's see. Wow. So it's about a 15% increase since yesterday's low on the VIX. And then, of course, it went down yesterday. I'm saying from yesterday's open. What that means for us as 0DTE traders is wider flies. We're going to lean into that expanded, or that I'm sure still can't talk. The decrease in the decay rate of premium. That's what happens when volatility comes up. By decreasing the rate of premium, options get inflated, and then there's more meat on the bone on that final day of expiration. So we're going to be looking at 25 to 35 wide today. I have not yet looked at mostly at the big ass fly, mostly because I don't have my Thinkorswim up right now. So I'm not going to bore you with opening that up. We'll just continue on here and look at the market direction. Now, despite the fact that we've come down like this and are below the moving average, I still feel bullish. But that is our strategy, go with, even though we went bullish yesterday, it was still a winning day. No, I didn't go bullish yesterday. I said it was a coin flip, didn't I? I said coin flip yesterday. And because of that, some people decided to do the Batman strategy, which actually ended up being a huge winner for them. And that's where you put a out-of-the-money fly both above and below the market. So that ended up being actually the right move. And today we're below the moving average. So I would say, typically that, our strategy says we have a bearish bias. And so we're going with put flies. Now, the interesting thing is that even when we have a bias and ultimately the market goes against us, there's still opportunity to make money in those type of markets, because there's often a counter trend move intraday that ends up being profitable. So don't worry about, which way the market's going or anything like that. Just follow the strategy and you'll be fine. All right, so let's take a look at the next, and that is the market structure. Oh, look at this. Now, this is a new development. I didn't see this morning. A breakthrough at the bottom of the top knot node. That was the thing that I was wondering whether or not we were going to hold or not. So now I'm going to change that, what I just said, to, we got a bearish bias today, because the next node down below that is the freedom node. That's the one that we escaped from and we're going up. So there must be something going on in the G7 or something in the news. It says U.S. stock futures muted after U.S. House narrowly passes the Trump tax bill. Well, I don't get that. Why is the market going down on that? That should not be. I'm going to say no, bullish. We're going up. We are going up. This makes no sense. Oh, yeah, you're going to pay less taxes. Therefore, we're all shit. Makes no sense. But anyways, yeah, that's my prognostication for today. Let's take a look at the, see, we broke through the top knot node. That's my name for it right here. This node right, let me see if I can point it out. Right there, that node. And then this is what I'm calling the freedom node right here. We broke out of that. We've broke free. We're getting good support from this level here at 5828. I anticipate they will come back into the top knot node, but may not break out from it. But we'll see. That's what I think is going to happen. Let's go back and check out real time is what is going on here. We'll just zoom in. There is still downward pressure. Still downward pressure. And that 50, we're not even are we at the 5828? No, that's at 5839. So we're not at that level of support yet. So we're at 5839. This level right here that I'm going to make thicker. Let's see, how do I do that? Style. I'll make it thicker so you can see it. See that node right there? That's good support right there. I think we'll bounce off there, get back into the top knot node, which is right there, and make our way up today. I could be totally wrong. I mean, we could be slipping back down into this low liquidity area and then find our way back into the freedom node. Hard to imagine, but considering, that up is down, down is up, we're in opposite world, it seems. There is confusion amongst the masses. The Fed's giving contradictory signals. The G7 is still out there, and of course they're, like I said, whiny little bitches. Can't take the pressure from tariffs and all that. Germany is just a shit show, so you got that too. Well, anyways. Let's get back to the big head and wrap this up. All right, so there you go. Memorial Day is coming up, and we're going to have a huge sale starting. So take note of that. I'll talk about it tomorrow, and it has to do with our Fat Tails Skool community and big developments there. So check out Fat Tail down below. And also the Zero DTE community. And remember, it's not just Fat Tail Trading. That's tail risk trading, but it's also Fat Tail AI. That is the other big announcement there. That is going to be mammoth. Trust me on that one. All right. So that's all I've got to say for this morning. Thank you very much. Coach Ernie is out.